Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. So this is a post that I did on my member community 2 days ago explaining why these stocks are in a momentum. That's part A. Part B is that why are still these not hyper overvalued stocks because of market में सब कुछ ही भाग रहा है. Right, so I mean these stocks have also started to give a very good run up. For example, Whirlpool in a single day it gave like 12% run up after this post. So now this is not a push that you go and buy these stocks, but what I'm going to do on this video is that I'm going to present an explainer how you can figure out momentum in a particular stock, whether it makes sense for you to add these type of stocks in your portfolio. Just a very quick disclaimer. These are just examples I'm using. This is not a push कि भाई साहब आप भी जाके invest कर लो and all that stuff in these stocks. No, I will give you like framework structures so that you can go and pick some stocks on your own. That's the idea. That's the intent with which I'm teaching. For people who are new to my channel, my name is Akshat Shrivastava. I have worked in the finance/consulting domain for the last 14 years. I now run a hedge fund. I went to INSEAD Business School. I have managed a fairly big portfolio. I continue to show its performance. So in case you are interested in improving your investing style, investing skill, I make these type of fundamentally driven videos and you can choose to subscribe. Okay, so with that said, let's begin. And first and foremost, let's do a very quick market view. I have been explaining it for the last few videos. So basically what is happening is that this channel is being followed, right? यहाँ पे एक बार एक आपका resistance आया, resistance, one could argue resistance, and then finally there is a breakout here. Now which is very nice because whenever there is a breakout, it means that this particular resistance line turns into a support line. Support line का मतलब क्या होता है कि the market might move up like this and then it might fall, but this becomes like a support point. Okay, so this is typically right where the market is likely to fall further in the future. But as of now, the first major downside to the market is capped due to this new resistance. And fall कितना हो सकता है in the absolute immediate short term? So this fall is 1.3%. Okay, वापस definitely आ सकता है. If some major news comes, then it might fall here also. Right, this becomes your second resistance point, all that stuff. But the chances are that see this channel is likely to be respected. इसमें थोड़ा बहुत ऊपर नीचे होता रहेगा unless a major positive news comes, then ये break करके ऊपर निकल जाएगा and then a new channel might be formed. For example, this positive news could be interest rate cuts. Okay, and this is on the cards. इसमें हो सकता है. ट्रम्प को लेके बहुत बातें हो रही हैं कि इफ डोनाल्ड ट्रम्प कम्स बैक टू पावर राइट इन द यूएस दैट्स गुड फॉर द मार्केट फॉर वॉट एवर रीजन, नाउ डिपेंडिंग ऑन योर पॉलिटिकल आइडियोलॉजी एंड ऑल दैट सब आप एनालाइज कर लेना. बट दीज आर ऑल पॉजिटिव न्यूज फॉर द मार्केट्स विच कैन डेफिनेटली गेट ट्रिगर्ड इन द नेक्स्ट 6 to 7 months. Okay, so please remember this because people right now are super eager कि भाई साहब प्रॉफिट हो चुका है हमें अक्षत ना, राइट. आई मीन 1 crore से वी आर नाउ एट लाइक 1.4 CR पोर्टफोलियो, मजे ही मजे, राइट. एंड 40 lakhs प्रॉफिट बुक करके निकल जाए, इतना प्रॉफिट बुक करके निकल जाए, उतना प्रॉफिट बुक करके निकल जाए. सी गाइस, वेरी वेरी क्विक कमेंट्री देयर दैट ओके इफ यू हैव वेरी गुड री इन्वेस्टमेंट ऑप्शंस, ओके कि आपने ये 40 लाख का प्रॉफिट बुक करा, वेयर विल यू रोटेट दिस मनी? ओके, दैट्स द मेजर हेडेक दैट पीपल आर हैविंग राइट नाउ. सो देयरफॉर ऑन द सेकंड पार्ट आई एम गोइंग टू क्विकली हेल्प यू अंडरस्टैंड कि भाई आप इफ यू आर लुकिंग एट री इन्वेस्टमेंट अपॉर्चुनिटी, देन वेयर यू कुड पोटेंशियली लुक एट. What is it that I'm doing? I will also reveal, right? And maybe if you guys like this video, then I might make a part 2. Okay, so on that spirit, let me just quickly analyze a few key stocks right in front of you. सबसे पहले तो मैं बात कर लेता हूँ कि फॉर एग्जाम्पल यार आपको करना क्या चाहिए, राइट. आई मीन सो सबसे पहले इफ यू आर सिटिंग ऑन 40% प्रॉफिट ऑन योर पोर्टफोलियो, जस्ट बिकॉज यू आर ऑन 40% पोर्टफोलियो बेच बाज के मत निकल जाओ, राइट. लुक एट वॉट यू आर होल्डिंग, वॉट डज योर पोर्टफोलियो लुक लाइक, राइट. सो पोर्टफोलियो लुक लाइक का मतलब क्या है? जैसे कि मैं बात करूँ ट्रेंड की, राइट. सो ट्रेंड इन द लास्ट फ्यू ईयर्स, लेट मी जस्ट ओपन अप द चार्ट. सो हियर इज वॉट यू विल सी. सो फॉर एग्जाम्पल भाई ये कब से, राइट, आई मीन फ्रॉम हियर, राइट, 31st Jan, सो करीब 1.5 साल में हाउ मच हैज़ द स्टॉक गिवन अ रन अप? इट हैज़ बिकम ऑलमोस्ट 3.7 times, 370% रन अप हो चुका है स्टॉक में. अब आप बोलोगे कि यार अभी मैं होल्ड कर लेता हूँ, राइट, इट विल मेक मोर मनी. भाई आई डोंट नो. ओके, इट लुक्स वेरी डेंजरस बिकॉज वॉट इज इट दैट वी आर लुकिंग एट? द मार्केट कैप इज 2 lakh crore, द स्टॉक PE is 215. नाउ दिस इज नॉट द प्रॉब्लमैटिक पार्ट. द प्रॉब्लमैटिक पार्ट इज दैट सी गाइस, ट्रेंड फॉर एग्जाम्पल आपने देखा होगा कि यार इट रन्स लाइक क्लोथिंग स्टोर्स, राइट, कॉल्ड एज जूडियो, राइट. नाउ अभी किस बिजनेस में है? दे आर इन रिटेल बिजनेस. मोर इंपॉर्टेंटली इन व्हाट टाइप ऑफ रिटेल बिजनेस? क्लोथिंग रिटेल. इसमें व्हाट आर द मार्जिन्स? एंड दिस इज लाइक नॉन लग्जरी रिटेल, क्योंकि आपने देखा होगा कि जो फॉर एग्जाम्पल जूडियो की टी शर्ट्स होती हैं वो 200-250 रुपए की होती हैं. इसमें हाउ मच मार्जिन इज जूडियो गोइंग टू मेक? मे बी लाइक 10-15% मार्जिन, राइट. अब आप लुई विटो और बेलेंसियागा इन सब की टी शर्ट्स पहनते हो तो अलग बात है, मे बी दोज companies are making 100% profit margin. But यहाँ पे the profit margin will not be like crazy. Okay, so they are playing something called as volume game, and they are competing on price. Okay, they are competing on price. Now if you are comparing it to something like let's say Apple products. Okay, now Apple products में क्या होता है? Apple products में होता है कि भाई देखो जैसे Apple है तो Apple अब मान लो कुछ नई चीज़ लॉन्च कर देता है, राइट? आई मीन VR headset. Now that's an entirely new space for Apple to explore. They will have a profit margin 60-70%. जैसे iPhone के profit margins होते हैं 50-60% के आसपास. Okay, so यहाँ पे profit margin is very high. This is luxury retail. This is commonistic retail. अब इसमें you are giving a PE ratio of like 215 on a particular company. So this is absolute madness. Now इसमें आपके loss होने के chances are much higher rather than you making profits. So if you are sitting on 40% profit on something like Trent, so this is not a recommendation, but logically speaking, what you should be doing is that you should at least figure out that थोड़ी अपनी risk reduce कर लो. Okay, then comes a natural question कि अच्छा किस में rotate कर लें पैसा? भाई देखो, again not a recommendation. I will just quickly take you through some charts and graphs, and momentum समझना ज़रूरी है. Certain stocks, for example जैसे Fine Organic है, it is in a momentum. Now why is it in a momentum? मैंने ऐसे बोल दिया कि momentum है तो momentum आपने मान लिया, नहीं. There is a technical pattern that is getting formed, right? So for example अगर आप इसमें technical chart pattern draw करोगे तो कुछ ऐसा निकल के आएगा. अब हो सकता है ऐसा हो जाए थोड़ा सा यहाँ पे, राइट? यहाँ हो सकता है कि यहीं से टेक्निकल पैटर्न बन जाए एंड ये जो उसकी डेप्थ है इतना ये ऊपर चला जाता है. सो रफ इफ आई हैव टू डू दिस कंप्यूटेशन फॉर यू, सो ऐसा उठा लेते हैं. सो यहाँ से इफ वी पिक इट अप, राइट, एंड स्टिक इट टू दिस line, then the total target price comes out to be 6,500, right? So yes, the markets right now, if you go back, check Nifty again, it is hitting all time high, all that stuff. But there are certain stocks where there is momentum coming, right? And इसमें अच्छी चीजें ही हो रही हैं. जैसे for example, again, इसका थोड़ा technical analysis कर लेते हैं, right? So you'll see that it is sitting on very good revenues, no doubt about that. So see, if you look at the revenues are good. It is less compared to last year because why? Because the China issue. So this is the theme that impacted a stock like Fine Organic, Tarsons, कि भाई जो चाइना की डंपिंग थी वो बहुत ज़्यादा हो गई थी, तो these companies were unable to sell that much stuff. But still the company is able to sell stuff profitably and it is still, अगर आप इसका revenue भी देखोगे तो so last year के बाद it was an anomaly. So ये प्रॉब्लम चाइना डंपिंग की 2023 में शुरू हुई थी, तो तब तक तो रेवेन्यू रिफ्लेक्ट हो रहा था, उसके बाद कम हो गया. अब ऐसे थोड़ी कि इट विल कीप ऑन गोइंग डाउन ओनली. सो अगर एक दो क्वार्टर के रिजल्ट भी अच्छे आ जाते हैं, देन द चांसेस आर दैट द कंपनी इज गोइंग टू डू वेल. सो हाउ हैज द रीसेंट क्वार्टर रिजल्ट्स बीन? सो आप क्वार्टर वाइज रिजल्ट्स देखना शुरू करो. सो क्वार्टर वाइज रिजल्ट्स में आप देखोगे एक अपवर्ड ट्रेंडिंग कर्व हो रहा है, राइट? यहाँ पे 472 थे, जैसे मार्च 2023 में 700 करोड़ का बिजनेस था, फिर गिर गिर के थोड़ा सा कम हो गया, राइट? नाउ इट इज स्विंगिंग बैक अप. So from that angle, the stock looks okay and it is in a good momentum. The target, according to me, I have already revealed. So this is something that I would closely look at, and if this is the theme that you are building, you could consider it. Now again, this is not a push कि भैया आप जाके invest कर दो. Okay, so this is one. What about like HDFC Bank? आप हर वीडियो में बात करते रहते हो, तो थोड़ा तो मुस्कुरा लेते हैं पहले HDFC Bank के रिजल्ट्स देख के. लास्ट 1 month 11% रिटर्न. ओके, पैसों की बारिश हो गई ऑन HDFC Bank. No, I'm just kidding. So if you look at the PE ratio here, right, the typical PE ratio for something like HDFC Bank is around like 21-22. ये इसके एवरेज PE के आसपास निकल के आता है. Now when the PE started correcting, तो आप देख सकते हो कि the PE corrected all the way till 15. Now अब there is PE expansion that is happening, right? जो stock price growth आ रही है वो PE expansion growth की वजह से आ रही है. Now it is very likely that its PE is going to expand. Now what gives confidence for something like HDFC Bank again is that आप इसके अगर results देखोगे तो profits have like doubled in the last 3 years, revenues have doubled in the last 3 years. There is no major problem per se. So despite the markets doing really well, HDFC Bank hasn't done well in accordance with the market. So अब बचेगी HDFC Bank type के stocks हैं भगने के लिए, right? So therefore they have started to run. So on that note also, I think another good bank is Kotak Bank, because अभी Axis ने थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा run up दे दिया. Now if you again check, exactly the same thing is started to happen here, right? So for example ये PE थोड़ा सा यहाँ तक correct हो गया था जाके. Now it has started to come back up. So इसमें growth होने की chances अच्छे हैं, right? The PE of the stock is not that high to begin with. So this seems good. Now of course it's not guaranteed कि what इससे नीचे नहीं जा सकता. Of course it can go down, right? But see folks, the bottom line is that if the PE PE of the stock is 19 right now. Okay, अब इससे ज़्यादा कितना गिर जाएगा यार? I mean at one point in time it was like close to 40. अब 40 से आधे से ज़्यादा तो गिर ही चुका है ना PE, right? So it's not as if कि यहाँ से बहुत ज़्यादा correction is left. So from that angle again I would say that the stock is in a very good PE momentum, so to say. Now the fourth stock that I will speak about is Bandhan Bank. Now Bandhan Bank में क्या हो रहा है कि if you actually Google Bandhan Bank you will realize that Bandhan Bank had a lot of succession issues. Now what is the meaning of succession issues? So this person here, he built Bandhan Bank right from scratch, okay, and he was the MD CEO of Bandhan Bank. Now basically now because of his age, other work commitments, etc., he has to kind of build a legacy or a succession plan for Bandhan Bank. So therefore a lot of succession issues were going on at Bandhan Bank. उसको बहुत बना दिया गया कि उनको निकाल दिया गया, ये हो गया, वो हो गया. This is the statement that he had to give on this entire issue. So I will try to link this interview which was given 2-3 months back, so you can hear out his entire commentary. I watched the entire video. I got a sense that, you know what, okay, he is actually genuinely building a succession plan. It's not as if कि यार वो सिर्फ हवा में बातें कर रहे हैं, and there are genuine legitimate concerns because of age, etc., that he has to create that succession plan. Now whenever there is a succession plan which is created, there is always a uncertainty period कि भाई कौन आएगा, कैसे संभालेंगे, how the leadership will be, 100 different questions, what their leadership style will be, will the team respect them, etc., etc. So on that note, Bandhan Bank also suffered a lot of calamity on that bit, right, कि उसका stock price काफ़ी correct कर गया from that note. But अगर आप देखो and if you actually go right and just compare the stock price, so one could argue कि यार कि stock price ऐसा बहुत ज़्यादा कोई correct नहीं करा है, right? I mean for example this range, it's almost the same, right? I mean अगर आप ये line draw करो, right, इसके आसपास ही घूम रहा है. It's not as if कि, you know what, बहुत ज़्यादा correction आ गया and, you know, बिल्कुल लुट गए, बर्बाद हो गए types and all that stuff. So okay, what about like the fundamental performance of the stock? If we take a look, all time high revenue पे है, all time high profit पे है, तो यार इसमें बन ही जाएगा आगे पीछे चल के पैसा. So from that angle, this seems like a good stock to hold. So final point मैं आपको और बताता हूँ and then I will summarize the key learnings. Voltas, for example, yeah, I started talking more about it in like 4-5 months ago on my member community. I started speaking more about consumer durables. In fact, मैंने open videos भी बनाए थे इस पे कि consumer durables is a good bet to take. Fundamentally strong, not like crazy expensive. Okay. अब हो क्या रहा है कि for example, if you take a look at Whirlpool, यहाँ पे भी आपको technical pattern बनता हुआ दिखेगा, right? So for example, ये रहा वो technical pattern, right? So इसमें कम से कम कुछ नहीं तो यहाँ तक तो पहुँच ही जाना चाहिए stock, right? If everything goes well. Now, what was the issue on Whirlpool? The issue on Whirlpool was the concept of pent up demand. Okay, this is something that I had covered the videos on also, right? I had made the inventory related problems that Whirlpool was facing, but very quick explainer there that hey, in 2020, right, and 2021, 2022, basically what ended up happening was that people did not buy a lot of electronics here, right? जैसे washing machine हो गया, AC, fridge, all that discretionary expense, right? So these are discretionary goods कि भाई पैसे हैं तो खरीद लेते हैं, अभी नहीं है पैसे की थोड़ी कमी चल रही है, right? In 2020 a lot of people lost jobs, whatnot, so they delayed their decision to purchase AC, fridge, TVs. Okay, now in 2019, let's say hypothetically speaking, if Whirlpool had manufactured 100 washing machines, now this inventory or most of it, उसके बाद जब COVID आ गया तो हुआ क्या कि, you know, this inventory was just sitting here, right, with the distributors, nothing happening. So they had to do two things. Number one is that they had to cut the prices or give discounts to sell that existing inventory, and number two, they had to halt production. Okay, now वापस रिवैम्प करने में थोड़ा सा टाइम लगता है प्रोडक्शन. ओके, सो एज अ रिजल्ट देयर 2021 में उनकी प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी प्रॉब्लम वाज देयर. इन 2022 लाइक यू नो दे वर फिगरिंग आउट कि भाई मार्केट एनालिसिस कैसे करनी है, कौन सा फीचर डालना है अब लाइक यू नो वॉशिंग मशीन में एंड ऑल दैट स्टफ. दिस पेंट अप इन्वेंट्री टुक टाइम टू सेल क्योंकि 100 वॉशिंग मशीन नहीं थी, बहुत ज़्यादा होंगी. सो दिस वॉज गेटिंग रिफ्लेक्टेड इन 2021, 2022, 2023 से थोड़ी सी डिमांड, कंज्यूमर डिमांड स्टार्टेड टू पिकअप. वाई? बिकॉज इसमें करना क्या होता है कि इंटरेस्ट रेट्स आर हाई, राइट, टिल लाइक 2023. नाउ when interest rates are high, what does that mean? It means that EMIs are also going to be high, and most of the washing machine, fridge, TV, AC, it's bought on what? Not on absolute cash, it's bought on EMIs. So consumer loans अगर expensive होंगे, so EMI payments भी ज़्यादा होंगे, and companies like Whirlpool, Voltas, they will all continue to get hit. Now this problem is getting sorted in 2024, or at least it looks like कि भाई interest rate कटेंगे, consumer loans लेना थोड़ा सा सस्ता हो गया है लेना चाहते हैं लोग कंज्यूमर लोन्स, डिमांड इज कमिंग अप, ऑल दैट स्टफ. सो देयरफॉर द बेनिफिशरीज आर कंज्यूमर ड्यूरेबल कंपनीज. And I do feel that the next 6 to 12 months are going to be good for consumer durable companies. So you could consider adding it. अब इसमें run up हो चुका है, now I cannot change that for all of you. But अगर if the market has to even retain its nifty levels at around 24k, then consumer durables again is going to is likely to give little bit of run up. Private banks are likely to give a run up, and होगा क्या ये 24k में कि a lot of overvalued stocks like Trent etc. they are likely to correct. Now it's your call how you want to manage all this situation. Now final note, whatever portfolio building that you're doing, you have to do it in accordance with your risk appetite. For example, ऐसा नहीं कि भाई साहब आप आवास खरीद के बैठ गए हो, right? It's या उज्जीवन खरीद के बैठ गए हो, या फिर बंधन बैंक खरीद के बैठ गए हो. Now all these are smaller and mid-sized companies. The way they will function, the way they will perform will be very very different from HDFC Bank's performance. Okay, so please keep that in mind कि HDFC Bank में अगर आपको भरोसा है तो आप उसमें लगा दो पैसा. अगर आपको इनमें भरोसा है and you're okay with the risk, then you go and invest here. The essence that I'm trying to communicate is that please understand the concept of risk adjusted reward, right? People want small cap returns by investing in HDFC Bank. Now that is not possible. So please understand that point and accordingly redesign your portfolio. Now tomorrow on the member community, I'm going to write part 2 of these momentum stocks. So definitely in case you want more education related to stocks and fundamental analysis on different stocks, then you can join that educational community. Thank you so much for watching this video and I'll see you soon.